Welcome to the Coda podcast. I am Rue from Rue Films, and in this episode, I'm joined by Owen from JOL Videography. Owen's journey into wedding filmmaking is anything but typical. Raised by two wedding photographers, he grew up surrounded by the craft, but it wasn't until years later that he picked up a camera himself, and when he did, everything started to click. Then came the reel, a groom waiting at the end of the aisle, overcome with emotion, as an audio message from his daughter played just before the bride walked in. That one moment struck a chord online, going massively viral and bringing a wave of attention to Owen's work. We break down how it happened, why it connected, and what it's meant for his business since. This one's all about momentum, creative identity, and those unexpected turning points that change everything. Let's dive in. So Owen, good evening, mate. Thank you so much for coming on the Coda podcast.
Thank you for having me, mate. I'm absolute pleasure and honour to come on.
It's good to have you on, man. So we met for the first time at Coda, didn't we, last year?
Yes, we did. Yeah, it was just some absolute mad day, so it was hard to get around quite a few people. So I'm glad I actually got to catch you near the end properly.
Yeah, and it was good to catch up, and it's been great following you since as well, mate, and keep an eye on everything that's been going on. Particularly, I say like this year, 2025, towards the start of the year, there's been some actual explosions going on your socials in terms of going viral and that kind of stuff. And I really want to dive into that. I found that super interesting. But it's Coda, so we have to do our traditional route of I've got a few questions that I want to fire at you first before we go into the meat of it all. So my traditional questions I like to ask, so to start off with, mate, how many weddings do you shoot each year on average?
Well, ever since I started, so I've been doing this for 5 years now, and it's been getting busier ever since. So I can't really say an absolute average, but if I had to, I'd probably say 50 at the minute. So I started in halfway through 21. I did 18 in my first 6 months, and then I've been hitting 50 every year. So I think it's just gone up and up and up and up. So we're at 65 for this year, so quite busy. So this is manic.
Big numbers, mate. Yeah, very big numbers. And kind of, what's the prices that you're working with at the minute? What are your packages and what are you charging?
So the packages I'm at the minute, so I'm starting at 2K. So I'm there all day, full ceremony, full speeches as their own separate videos. They get roughly a 5-minute highlight film and a little minute teaser, which they can have a few days after the wedding. And then I've got my second main package is 2.5, and they get the longer feature film, 15 to 20 minutes, roughly around that point. I do have a VIP package, basically put everything in one package that you could possibly do, which I've had that booked for the first time this year, and I was like, that's crazy.
You're not supposed to book this one.
No, but that's a whole nother story, which we'll probably get into in a little bit.
Is it price anchoring? Is that the term for it? When you put those kind of, you put
probably.
Like a price that your middle package is what you want to aim for. So you put a cheaper one and a really expensive one, so people land on that middle package.
Yeah, kind of I think that's definitely what it is. It's you have one that's kind of cheaper, the really expensive one, and the middle one is the ideal one. That's what you want to be booking week in, week out of every wedding that you can possibly shoot.
And did you say with both of those you're doing like a teaser trailer that you're getting out within about a week after the wedding?
Yeah, ish. I've started doing these little same day, because we're sat there during the wedding breakfast. The photographers are kind of just chilling. And I'm just sat there bored whilst they're eating, so I'm just like, plug my card in at the main camera, 15 seconds worth, bang, show it the couple, and they absolutely love it. So I just find it's really nice to show something to them, even if it's on the day. It's only just a little quick, but it's something that they can put on their story, etc. And then obviously they'll get the teaser much later on. But I've only started doing it for the past, say, 10 weddings, and it's been quite an enjoyable little thing to do.
And I guess it's not something you're promising, but it's just like a little surprise if you get a chance.
It's a little surprise. Obviously, like say if we've got, I think all of us hate it when the speech is like staggered between each course of the meal.
Yeah.
Obviously, then you've got pretty much no chance. You want to eat, you want to relax. But I was at Mill Barnes yesterday, and they're meant to have those after mains, but we actually had it after dessert properly all together, and I just whipped it up then, and they absolutely loved it. It was fab. I liked it that much. I've even posted it onto Instagram today, so they've got that, and I've collabed with them, and they love it. So it's a nice little keepsake.
I was having this discussion today with some other videographers. I think it's almost essential that we start looking at fast turnaround.
Yeah,
as from a videographer point of view, because we've got the content creators nipping at our heels, and it's almost, because one of my friends, basically, he did a wedding recently, and he set up something during bridal prep where he had the bridesmaids all kind of singing, and they were singing, is it Going to the Chapel, Going to Get Married, that song.
That a few times,
yeah. So they were singing all that together, and his plan was to then kind of transition that into that song in the film itself.
Oh, see, that's
but
cool.
The next day, the content creator did that exact thing. The setup he'd done, she'd filmed it, then she did the transition into the rest of the day into that song. So his whole idea was gone. So it's like we're creating these wonderful set pieces for content creators to go with.
Isn't it? It's for everything where we want to be the first one to do it. Even when it comes down to photographers and we want to share a moment, but they've done it. Obviously, they're completely different, but the fact they get to see it in some sort of form, it's that first to get to it. But no, I do wholeheartedly agree. Getting this thing out there quicker, I think, is especially with it's like Amazon nowadays. You can get something the next day, and it's like this generation coming through. Well, I'd say my generation, everyone wants things the next day. So getting it out there quicker, I think it definitely will help.
Even I'm like that, mate. Like if I order something, it's not next day delivery, I'm fuming. Why can't I receive it tomorrow? So I'm really interested in this kind of like fast turnaround time. So say, for example, the one that you did yesterday that you turned around on the day itself, did you have a song ready to go or did you have to pick one there and then?
Well, I'm putting on my story mainly. So I'll put it on my story so they can share something on the story. So I'm not actually putting any music to it. I'll just use a little thing out of Instagram and just kind of match that to it. So it's just a tiny little 15, 20-second little thing. So I'm not picking up music or anything like that. It's just, sometimes I've actually put it up without any music, but it's just something visually. So even passing for any followers who've seen it, so they're not necessarily going to be listening to it, but the visuals there, which I think is key when it comes down to video anyway. And
if it's on Instagram, you're sometimes using their embedded library kind of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly that, mate. Exactly that. And like I said, for only 20 seconds, you can use whatever. And so, you can use, if you knew what the first dance song was or something like that, you could put that on or something. You get quite personal to the couple about it. But it's just a nice little thing to do, to be fair.
Yeah, and it needs to be set up for speed as well, doesn't it? Is the key for it. And then, so when you do it on the same day, is that a different process to when you do it within a week? When you do the one within a week, is a similar process or is it completely different?
A little bit similar. Obviously, I might, because we've probably got hard drives come out of our ears. The amount of hard drives I've got lying around here, it's ridiculous. But for the small one, I'm literally just plugging in my SD card straight on my camera, straight into the computer, and just pulling things into Final Cut and just putting it through there. Whereas the teaser, they are kind of like the library's there, and I am then dragging things in to create that, or I am just doing it the same way. Just I've uploaded everything to the hard drive, and I'm just pulling things into Final Cut, copying, pasting it, and just putting it all through, and just creating something nice for them to watch. I am really liking doing the crop for Instagram. I do like that crop. It's quite nice, and even when I'm shooting, I might even just think about that crop and just shoot one little detail in portrait or something like that. Yeah, because that's one thing I'm really jealous about photographers getting to shoot in portrait. It's like when you're doing the dress shot and you got to go so wide and you got all this, it's got to be, that room's got to be tidy if you were doing a dress shot, something like that. There's
certain weddings where I'm like, I'm glad I haven't got to shoot in any other way. Like, just a series of tight shots is handy for this messy room, but especially a dress shot, like you need that vertical kind of ratio. But
it's a pain.
If you shoot like that with that in mind, then it does really help, doesn't it, when it comes to those social edits? But I've set up like presets now in Final Cut, so with a couple of clicks, it will like put my footage, put it as like as two shots in the frame, one above each other, perfectly aligned. Nice. Or 3 aligned as well, so I can just throw them on really fast. 2, 3.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Because before I was like, each time I was meticulously moving it into the right spots. Like if I set it like a preset, I'm gonna click in it.
That's a smart idea. I never even thought of that.
But that, because I'm similar to you. Like I want to adapt that kind of process that you're doing now, and I even got myself the CF Express card so I can quickly get footage off during that break. But ever since I've gone to implement it, I've had speeches between courses, so I've just had no chance. But,
got him.
But I'm just thinking, if I get a teaser from every wedding, and that's something I'm going to stop worrying about too much now as well. Like only showing certain things. When like I've only done like 39 posts in 7 years. That's just ridiculous. I need to I could do that in 1 year. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? That's mad. But because I was just like and ahh about posting and just end up not doing it. But every time I post, I get inquiries.
Yeah. I think that's the same with all of us, because getting to collab with like venues and other vendors as well. Even the couple have got people there who might be getting married, and they can see you and go, oh, I quite like that. They did my friend's wedding. Why not have a little look? Why
That's
not?
it. And And you usually find groups of friends all get married in a similar time. I know our mates did. So if you get in at the first one, you could end up mopping up all their mates as well, can't you?
Yeah, I've had that for the first time where I've had about 3 different couples at one wedding. I thought that was pretty cool, but my folks have beat that. I think they had about 4 or 5 couples at one wedding. But yeah, that was crazy. I wasn't at that one, but yeah.
Yeah, because your parents are actually wedding photographers, right?
Yeah. So they started JOL back in 2011. So I was 11 years old when they started.
No way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go into that in a minute, but before I forget, I need to go back because you mentioned you're doing 50 odd weddings a year, right?
Yes.
So what's your turnaround on your packages? Are you doing all the editing yourself, or
Yeah. At the minute, I'm doing it complete myself. I am. Speaking of the family thing, I am trying to train my brother into doing some sort of things, whether it's just doing the main edits for ceremony speeches, just trying to cull the footage, and I can then go straight into the feature edits and the highlight edits, which will just make my life so much more easier. Because this is the busiest year I've had, so I've not experienced this volume of bookings in 1 year. I mean, I've got 5 weddings this week, so I did one yesterday. I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I might be regretting that.
And
afterwards.
A podcast tonight.
And a podcast today. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, I am doing it all myself. So yeah, at 65 this year, it's mad busy.
Yeah, that's going to be testing you, isn't it? So currently, like based on last year, how quickly were you managing to turn your films around? What was your lead time?
I do say 10 to 12 weeks. But I am usually knocking things out in around about 8, ideally. So I'll say the 10 to 12, but just try and knock it back a few weeks earlier and go, oh my god, that was so quick and stuff like that. So it's trying to get it to there. But you've got your process with editing, so you've got your formulas and how exactly you like things. As much as people don't really know that you do that,
they don't need to know.
No. We've got our process of how we edit, so it's just getting that into gear, and right now it's really trying to get that into gear a lot quicker.
Yeah. And are most of your bookings gone with that kind of middle package where you've got the 2 films, you've got your shorter film and you got your kind of longer film?
Quite a few, but I am saying to couples, if they really want to, if budgets are tight and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to go with the classic package, the classic collection, and then upgrade to the premium if you get a little bit money straight after, which is no problem at all.
And you can guarantee they'll always upgrade.
Oh, absolutely.
Get them in the door, get them locked into that one package, and then you can guarantee a couple of weeks after the wedding, drop them an email saying, got some great footage, would you like to upgrade? They all will. Will.
I want to say I've probably had about 6 or 7 upgrades this year already, which is crazy, but it's the experience that you can give them on the day. They'll, getting them on site, and just having a really good time. Every wedding this year has been absolutely fab. I've enjoyed every single one. Well, to be fair, I can't really say I've not enjoyed a wedding that I've done. But no, I think a lot of upgrades have been coming through, which is quite nice to see.
When they get that wedding money coming in and they want to spend it on something wedding related, there's Owen to mop it up.
Absolutely. We're all there, we're all ready for it.
If you're doing an edit from start to finish, how many days would it take to work on?
It can vary. I'd say roughly around 2 to 3, possibly, maybe.
That's good.
But if they just had like the highlight film or something like that, I could just knock that out in a day. I'm probably starting about 9 o'clock and going all the way through to about 9 o'clock. So you might spend 12 hours there. But I'm really bad for procrastinating and just like putting things off or doing something, because obviously working from home, it's a real pain. You got YouTube up, you got Coda podcast coming out your ears. You want to listen to them all. So when's better not to listen to it whilst you're working? So I'm there just like watching it on YouTube, and then I'm like, no, I need to edit as well. So I'm trying to do both.
But even so, man, that's like really good. To be fair though, like if you're saying you're doing like 9 till 9, like a 12 hours, that's like 2 days for me.
Yeah. Well,
that's good going though.
I've not got the responsibility of kids or anything, so I'm not into that same boat as yourself. So I mean, I'm still living at home, so I'm still trying to wait to save up and move out. So hopefully at the end of the year we can do so.
I should think so with your 50 weddings, mate. Bloody hell.
Yeah.
They'll be kicking you out. They know what you're earning.
Oh my god, tell me about it. Yeah.
So let's do a little bit more gear chat here and a little bit more techie chat. So what camera system are you using at the minute? What cameras have you got?
So I've grown up with Canon, so I'm still on Canons. I've got the R6 Mark II, so I've got one of those, and I've got 2 of the Mark 1s as well, which I can't complain. I've been really, really good to me. So I've not switched over to Sony, although it's been tempting because you see so many people on it. But no, I've stuck with the guns with Canon. So yeah, absolutely. The colors are fab. So I'm not very, very techy in terms of like megapixels and stuff like that. But that's what my dad was using. So that's now what I'm using, and it works just as fine for video as it does photos. So
I feel like cameras are like football teams. You end up having the same one that your dad did.
Yeah. Blame my dad for this football team I support, mate. Honestly.
Because so are you Stoke? Do you support Stoke?
I am. Unfortunately, I'm wearing one right now. Yes.
Good lad.
Yeah, I'm a Stokey.
Fair play, mate. See, as a Villa fan, I appreciate us lower down teams.
Well, speak for yourself at the minute. Up in the Champions League in Europe and everything like that. But writing down in the bottom of the Championship for 8 years, it's not been very pleasant to watch. And I'm a season ticket holder as well, so it's not nice to watch last year.
How's that going to be, like, with all the wedding season and stuff? I bet you're missing loads of games, aren't you?
I've missed a fair few. I have missed a fair few for the season just gone. But to be fair, the season before that, I think I only saw about 4 goals at home. That's how bad it was. I was there for quite a few. And then my first game of the season just gone, we smashed Portsmouth 6-1 at home. So I saw more goals in one game last season than I did the season before. And we're like, oh my God. But it's every other game that season we were scoring, I wasn't there. I was just like... but
you're the bad luck charm, mate. When you're not there.
No, because my first, I had a half season ticket, and my first full season ticket was the year we got relegated. So yeah, you could really say it's bad luck.
You'll do well that next season then, because with all your 60 odd weddings that you got to shoot.
Well, yeah. This year it's crazy.
So on those Canon cameras, what lenses have you got on there?
So I have been using a Sigma 50, but that's decided to go AWOL. The autofocus is absolutely bust and won't focus at all. So I've literally just bought the new 1.2 50, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is one of the best lenses I think I've ever seen. So when I was doing that little teaser thing yesterday, I was like, some of these shots, mate, honestly, at 1.2. It was absolutely gorgeous. So I've got that. I've got a Sigma 2470, which I'll use on my B cam, and I've got a 24 to 105 Canon as well. And that was the first lens I ever had. But the joy of being in a Canon family, I get to nick lenses here and there. So I'll use the odd 70-200 if I need to for longer range filming.
I love that. You're living at home, you're nicking their lenses, you're rolling in it, mate.
Absolutely nicking everything. It's great.
So your new Canon's 1.2. What was your Sigma?
1.4. 1.4.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And is that a big old difference? Are you actually shooting at 1.2 as well?
A few times, a couple of times I'm using it, but I tell you what, just the colours, like the actual quality that lens brings from not having to use an adapter or anything, it's quality, mate. Absolute quality. I can't fault it at all. My dad's got the same one, and I borrowed it once. I was like, I've got to get one. So 2.5K later, that wasn't a nice purchase, but it's absolutely fab to use.
But that lens will follow you for a long time now. That's the beauty of lenses, isn't it? Like our body's outdated, but lenses don't often.
No, absolutely. It's like buying a mattress, isn't it? That'll last you quite a few years.
Yeah, so you're better to invest in a decent one, right?
Yeah. So I'm looking to upgrade for a few more for the rest of the year. So hopefully by August I might have another one. I need to get a new computer as well. That's one thing I need to get. So upgrade for the rest of the year.
Yeah, add it to the list, mate. Add it to the list. And audio equipment, what are you going with for that?
So the good old Sony TX660s, that's what I'm using. I did start out, obviously, when I first started, I did have what are they called? The Tascam DR10Ls. So I bought like 5 of them. I've started using them, and then I bought one Sony TX660, and I was like, this is so much more easy to use. So I was like, right, I'm just going to sack them off, buy a load of these, and that's what I've had ever since. Yeah. So can't go wrong with them.
You can't, the simplicity of it. So here's a question, right, that seems to trip a lot of the guests up.
Okay.
Who is your favourite wedding filmmaker?
So yeah, that is a hard one. That is
tough one, right?
It is. I mean, when I first started, and like the amount of films I watched and YouTube content and everything like this, the first one that came up, which I think when you're looking at YouTube, the first one that's going to come up is Adam Wing.
Yes, Adam Wing.
Wingy's always there. So He's absolute one of the top dogs for me since I first started. I've followed his journey as well. I did his course, so I'm a graduate of his course, and just I got to meet him for the first time at Coda. So I was like, just seeing all these people around, I was like, just starstruck. You got obviously Matt, PS Visuals, his work's incredible. You got Greg, GB Wedding Films, his work's insane as well. So there's absolutely so many. Obviously you got all the Americans as well, but those three really kind of speak to the style that I like to bring through. So kind of that handheld kind of vibe and stuff. Those guys are just elite, top dogs.
Three super down to earth people as well, right?
Yeah. Which so I saw Matt at Coda, but I didn't get to speak to him. And then I was really gutted. I couldn't go to Glasgow because obviously Adam and Greg were both speaking at the summit, didn't they? In Glasgow,
and Matt was there as well.
And Matt was there, so all the top dogs there would have been there. So I was really gutted I couldn't go, but duty calls. I was a wedding at Foxtail, so I couldn't.
Oh, not Foxtail as well.
It was at
all the places.
It was at Foxtail. So I couldn't make that one, unfortunately. But I was gutted. But I was that invested. I even booked 2 tickets to go to Coda this year.
Yes, you did. and you didn't even realise, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was like, I did book one, didn't I? And I ended up using a different email address. Then you pop me a message like, did you mean to buy two tickets? I was like, shit, no, I didn't. But I got a lovely.
I could have kept quiet.
You could have done. But I got a lovely message off someone literally a day later and saying that because you gave that ticket back, I got that. So thank you very much. So I'll see you.
Yes, I think because we've got like 90 odd people on the waiting list, so it was quite easy. It was like as soon as you got yours back, I was like, I've got one going.
There we go. There we go. So Dan, you're welcome.
Someone else gets a seat because that's it, mate. But awesome. Right. Okay. Let's go into your story then, mate, because I know it's quite an interesting one. Look, we alluded to it earlier about your parents, but so what has been your journey into wedding filmmaking? How did it all start?
It's been probably an unusual one for what people are used to, but so I am part of a family business. So like we said before, my parents have been doing this since 2011. And then literally 10 years later, I jumped on the bandwagon doing video. It was never planned. It wasn't something that was kind of in the works and going, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen. Like they haven't trained me or made me go, this is what you're doing. Yeah, I went to uni. I did like a sports degree, but as anyone knows, if you've been to uni to do a sports degree, it's rubbish. You don't really get much out of it. But during my second year at uni, COVID hit, so we were in full lockdown halfway through my second year. It was quite enjoyable. So I'm from Shrewsbury, so I was doing it was with Stafford Uni, but through the Shrewsbury College. So that was quite nice and easy, so I could stay at home. So lucky enough, I did do that because of COVID. I got to stay at home, but through that, then through my third year, I just ended up hating it. So my mum always joked, going, "Oh, you can jump on with us and always do video." She always just joked about it, never being serious. And I turned around one day, I went, "You know what? No, I want to do it. Let's try it. I want to do it." I knew how to work a camera. I photographed my first wedding with my dad when I was 15. Like he took me out of school and went, like, your mum's ill, she can't work, you're coming with me. So you're pulling a sickie and you're coming with me. And he didn't even pay me for it either. He didn't even pay me for it. Yeah, so I did a few weddings with him. I did enjoy doing it. But when it came to the point, I just went, you know what? No, I do want to do it. I really do. I want to join the JOL brand, which not a lot of people do know. It is JOL rather than JOL. So it is actually an acronym. So my dad's name's James. Obviously, it's my name, and then my brother's name's Lewis. So it's all three of us. So that's why it's JOL, which a lot of people don't know. So they ask, what does it stand for? Well, that's what it stands for. And
but your mum didn't get a look in then. Your mum didn't get a name in.
You beat me to it. We say it all the time, and she always goes, "Well, I don't even get in the look in the name either." So it's always kind of an ongoing joke that she's like a silent C for Caroline. So that But then from there, I was like, I borrowed a bit of money from the bank mum and dad came in through COVID, and within the first 6 months of me doing it, I filmed my 18 weddings I filmed. So that was quite crazy how that all came about, and I paid them back every penny by the end of the year. And then 2022 started a fresh year, and I hit 50 my first full calendar year, which
wow,
that was something to be able to do that.
10 years ago, I discovered the cheat code to life. Becoming a wedding filmmaker changed everything. It's taken me around the world, it's introduced me to incredible people, but most importantly, it's given me the freedom to build a business that fits around my family. And I want the same for you. Cheat Code is my complete online course for wedding filmmakers, and it's everything I've learned all in one place. Shooting, editing, and building a business that actually works. You'll see real behind the scenes footage, proven camera setups, editing walkthroughs, and the exact templates and structures I use to create stunning wedding films fast. If you're already a wedding photographer, there's a module just for you, showing how you can confidently pivot from photo to video. Plus you'll get my signature LUT, pricing guide, email templates, and the all-important cheat code data sheet, a tool that helps you make smart business decisions based on real data. Skip the guesswork, fast track your success, and get the cheat code today. Visit rue-films.com/course for more information. Those first weddings that you were getting, was it all through your parents' brand, as in their photography clients?
It wasn't. To start with, yes, it was. So they offered it to quite a few of their clients who didn't have a videographer. So I did the first few for free. I think I want to say out the 18, I probably did about 6 or 7 with them. The rest, I got a random one down in, where was it? Down in Nottingham or something like that. And I met a photographer called Kimberly Hill there, and she recommended me to about 5 more of her, 3 or 4 of her clients. And I ended up working with her for about 3 or 4 times within those 6 months. So I do owe a lot to her. She really did help me in those first 6 months as well as my parents. But then obviously your portfolio starts to build, so everyone starts to see it, and then the booking starts to come through. So even to this day, about half of what I do is with my parents. I've got 29 with them this year, so every year we are getting quite a few. But Instagram as well is one of those main things. So I got quite a few recommendations through Facebook, Instagram. So people start to see your content and they book last minute. So they put their faith in me as someone who's starting out new, and I was able to deliver, lucky enough. Obviously, looking back at it now, I'm like, I don't like what I did back then compared to now. But I think that's all of us. That's all of us. But
that's natural, right?
Yeah,
Every season we look at the previous season, I think, what on earth?
Literally, my dad's got my first film saved on his phone, and he showed it me the other day. I went, my God, that shit. but compared to now, what I'm happy and delivered, the experience that you get over doing so many weddings is quite crazy.
After every wedding season, isn't it? It's a case of you're just leveling up without realizing it. And that's why I always like to kind of go back and look at old films from that year, because you only remember your good ones, and then you end up comparing yourself to your best. So it's good to go and see what the whole year was like. Then you can always see there's improvement, isn't there?
There's always improvement. I'm still learning to this day. I'm even seeing things now. I'm putting a couple of stories out. I loved my title. I really did like my title. So I've changed my title 2 times. I've just changed it to a bit of a bigger font, because I feel like it just needed a little bit of a revamp. Even with when it comes down to the letterboxing, I put a story up about it the other day. It's like, does it really need it? Because you are missing out quite a bit of the screen, which I've got quite a few people going, ditch it or keep it. So it was quite fairly even, to be honest. So at the minute, I've kept it for the minute. I've kept it for the minute.
For now.
We'll see.
You'll be shooting vertical by next year, mate.
That's one thing. I tell you what, I'm surprised that I was speaking to a few people the other day. It's like, surely someone somewhere is just doing everything vertical with a proper camera, proper videography style, not content creator style, like proper, just like we do, and filming everything vertical. Someone somewhere has got to be doing that. Because that's what this generation, my generation coming through, is living for. Everyone loves the vertical content.
Speeches and ceremony would be well hard shooting vertical, wouldn't it?
Well, that would be. You imagine that on a 24 wide lens. It's like absolutely massive. There's just a tiny little dot in the center of the screen.
Yeah, but that'd be grim.
Yeah, it would be. But I don't know why it just looks nice. It does look nice when they do it. So someone's got to be doing it somewhere, surely.
I reckon definitely. Is it like the new Panasonics that are like 6K open gate? I imagine just shooting the whole wedding really wide, but then knowing you can crop in and you can get, you can get both frames kind of thing in one, but shooting really weirdly wide. You literally walk around like CCTV and just create a video afterwards and post up from cutting in. So your parents, how long have they been shooting photo?
For 15 years. So 2011 they started. So that's what, is it 14, 15 years ish? ish. So like I say, I was 11 at the time. I remember all those days. So I think they back then, obviously, it was completely different to how they started to grow, doing mainly more of the local ones until social media really did start to kind of come about. And it's only for the past few years where it has expanded into something bigger in terms of going different places. But they're really good at what they do. I'm very happy that I get to work with them for quite a lot of the time. And then my parents, so I better get on with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I do get the question going, isn't it really hard working with your parents? I go, no, it's not. It just works seamlessly. We work together, and I know exactly what they need. They know exactly what I need. It's like when we work with photographers that we know anyway.
Yeah.
And you kind of just bounce off each other. So even through the ceremony, like we've got a little communication thing where we'll kind of click. Like people don't recognize that we're doing it. Just kind of. So we just like clicking from the front to the back. So if my mom's in like kind of dead center and my dad wants her to move, he'll just like click and just kind of just get out of the way from the back. And so it's quite a funny thing that people don't realize we do it. But the one I did yesterday, that like I wanted to come down center for the first kiss because they had like a big flower arch. It was going to be a very, very tight from the front at Mill Barnes to do the first kiss. So. And my mom was like, no, stay up there. I was like, no, I'm coming down the center. And I'm really glad I did because it's a really nice shot because they did an absolute complete dip kiss. I was like, I'm so glad I came here because I would not have been able to get that. Because obviously we've got a back camera anyway, but that's not going to do that shot justice. So no, I moved and came central. I was like, no, I'm getting that. But yeah, the communications.
You clicked at your mum, got her out of the way.
Yeah. So I kind of went. She went really low, and I just went a little bit higher. So I shot over the top of Elma 50, and we got that. But no, it works really, really well. So it's a really good selling point as well, which people kind of underestimate. It's a really good selling point, even if we're at open days or something like that, or even just through people kind of inquiring with me on Instagram. I'm sending out our joint packages together as well as my own, and the fact that they get 3 all in one. So they get 2 shooters for photo and myself. It's kind of just a win-win. So they get like a little discount off both of us as well. So it kind of just sweetens the deal a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So when you are shooting with them, you do offer a little bit of a discount off your normal package price, do you? Just to kind of get the deal over the line. It's
like the odd £100 off us each, and because they're at 2K as well. So we're kind of even Stevens on that.
Yeah,
but they got the pre-shoot to do. Obviously, me saying that I do the little teaser during the break. My parents have their laptop and are they bring a TV screen along for the evening and upload the last night they uploaded about 150 photos to the TV screen for all the evening guests to then see. So the photos that happen throughout the day. So because how many times have you been to a wedding as a guest and actually seen the photos? You don't really see it a lot. So that's quite a nice thing that they get to do. So I'm just sat by the TV and everyone's watching it. I was like, this is brilliant. Everyone loves it.
And you yank their laptop out and put yours in and play your film instead.
I thought that's not a bad idea, actually. I might do that in the next one.
So your parents, because this interests me in terms of what works for photo and video packages together. What are your mum and dad delivering as for their 2K package? Is that kind of like all day there?
Yeah,
and then...
all day there. So they're all images on a USB. So yeah, they get that. They get the pre-shoots included. Obviously the TV screen. They're there all day. I think that's it. And then obviously they've got albums to add onto their packages as the further they go up. So they got 3.
So they're doing a pre-shoot with every wedding. So like an engagement shoot kind of session thing before the wedding day.
Yeah, exactly that. So they'll go along to the venue, and if they can't make the venue, it might be somewhere local to them or local to us. And they'll just go around for an hour, just have a little photo shoot, get used to having the photos taken. When it comes down to the day, it just kind of nullifies all that nervousness of being able to go out. They know what to expect when they go out and have photos. They'll just bring them a little framed 6x9 of one image from there, and they'll bring that to them on their wedding day. So that's quite a nice little thing. How
many weddings are they doing a year? Are they doing similar numbers to you?
They're doing they like to say 40. 40 is a sweet spot. So they're doing about 40, 45 a year. It suits them because they still work 3 days a week. My mum's a part-time teacher. My dad's been a welder fabricator for 30 plus years, and he's still doing that 3 days a week. So they keep upgrading all their stuff as well. So it keeps them ticking over.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's a great little business. Because I know when I was doing photo and video, and I'd offer I'd basically shoot the photo and I'd get hire in the videographer to shoot alongside me.
Yeah.
And when I was offering those packages, it was so easy to sell them, like so easy. But I stopped because I'd lost my passion for photo completely, really. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to do video. But I remember at the time being able to offer photo and video all under one roof is really powerful from a selling point of view.
It is.
And there's a lot of talk of hybrid at the minute, and I know a lot of photographers are moving it into hybrid video.
Yeah.
But I think there's a huge market for video first hybrid, where for photo you're just maybe doing some group shots and a couple of portraits, but then the majority of the day is captured on video. And I think that setup would work really well for kind of like brides now, where the whole world is set up for video right now, isn't it?
It literally is. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a really good idea. I've not come across that. So that's quite a unique thing.
No one's doing it, are they?
No, I don't think everyone's thought of flipping the script and going that way, because I'm starting to. I know a few videographers who are now starting to do photo because they're going, I just can't do all the editing. Like all the editing is good. So it's like, no, I'd rather use AI and just get most of my editing done and all the culling and stuff like that. So I do know a few have kind of gone from video to photo rather than yourself going from photo to video. So a few are reverting back to that side.
It makes sense. I mean, like, you can, there's a lot less work and the similar money, but we just all know that the product from video is just so much better. Like, video is so much better than photo, no matter what you say.
Well, that's the age we live in now. I mean, my parents had their wedding film. Well, back then it was like more of a wedding video than a film. 26 years ago, they've been married. So back then, it's a guy with a big BBC camera and stuff like that. But it was just from their ceremony all the way through, just before they had their speeches. And my great grandparents are on there. And they passed away when I was 17, so they were there for a majority of my life, and getting to watch them be there, like my great granddad actually put, which my mom didn't even realize until the other year when she rewatched it, that he actually put her dress into the car and helped her into the wedding car to go back to their venue from the church. And I was like, that's so powerful that people don't realize, and people are starting to realize now that video is really, really important.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
Really
it's massive. It gets more important every day. Like, your wedding film gets more and more important every day. And I feel like I've been banging this drum for a long time, man. But like, it's true. And that's why I was drawn to video initially. That's why I gave up photo, because I knew the power that video had. So a product where photo is the minimal aspect, like just the portraits and group shots, I think would just fly. Would be a great shout. But that leads me to another question I was thinking as well, because I always find this so often, right? I'm shooting with two photographers, like you said, your mum and dad, like a duo. But it's the video that needs a second person, right? Like, but couples, like, photo doesn't need a second person at all.
Yeah,
but they can move around as much as they want. But we're in the ceremony, having someone to set up stuff for us would be really useful. Do you ever often get a second in yourself, or
only if people pay for it? Only if people are going, you know what, I do offer it. It is there. If you want a second shooter, I can get one. There's a few times this year where people have booked one. But I'm starting to do a few kind of like behind the scenes stuff, so I've offered it for a couple. I'll get you a 3-second shooter as well, but they'll just kind of come and film me and stuff. But so I've
been there.
Yeah, I know you have. I've seen it. I've watched them both. Is it 2 you've got on your YouTube channel?
Yeah,
2. Yeah,
there's a third one in the course as well.
Good man. Good man.
That's behind a paywall, mate.
Here's the money. Take it. But so like I say, I'm training my brother to do some editing, but I am going to see if I can start training him to film with me. So it could be me and my brother, and then you got my parents as well doing photos. So it could be all 4 of us doing it at a wedding. So that'll be quite interesting.
Surely your brother just knows it's inevitable at this point. If you're part of the family, you film weddings, you're involved in weddings, that's how it goes.
It's the JOL legacy, mate. That's what's coming on. So, but he's shown a little interest. So we'll see what happens. So I need to train him up first, because we've got a big job coming up later this year. So and we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Getting people in like getting Jay, my wife, involved with the editing has just been huge help. Insane. Frees you up, doesn't it, to focus on the other things, and also just to know when you're working on projects, that the other ones that are starting to back up are actually getting worked on is such a great release of your mind, because we all know what it's like at that season where you're just out shooting all the time and you don't get a chance to get into the editing suite. So having someone there kind of starting on them each, it's brilliant.
For this year, myself personally, I think it's more important if I get him doing especially doing the editing more now than ever. You know, by the end of this week, mate, I'm gonna have about 20 in the queue. So it's
wow.
It's the past few months have been crazy. So May was one of my busiest months, probably my second busiest month of the year. August, I think I've got about 13 in August. So that's going to be. As well, and I've actually got a wedding I'm going to as a guest as well. Got my uncle's wedding, so I'm not filming his. He's getting someone else to film. I want to relax.
Yeah, too right.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So for context for people listening in, so we're at the very beginning of June.
Yeah.
And this year, I know a lot of people. Well, for me, I've only shot. So I've got 31 weddings this year, which is perfect. Which is perfect for me. But I've only shot 3 so far. At the 1st of June, and I know a lot of people that are the same as me. Like the season's congested from now on, but you're already at 20 in your edit queue at June.
Mine's all the way through, mate. It's all the way through. I didn't have one in January this year, which was quite nice. Last season, so I think it was the 2023 season. Might have been the 23 seasons. I had one on New Year's Eve, and I literally then started again on the 2nd of January. So I had a very, very late end to the year and a very early start to the year. But nice. I did get my little break after that. But no, I think I had about 3 in February, which was quite nice. So there's always one on Valentine's Day. There's always one on Valentine's Day. March, there were a few more, and then when it hit April, it exploded. So it was like 2 a week at least. But no, having 5 this week. To be fair, yesterday's one they only booked about 4 weeks ago.
Really?
I've had a lot of inquiries for this year that I've had to say no to because obviously of the vast volume of numbers has been crazy. But I think I got to a point last year where I think I had about 45 booked, but I thought I was at 35, and I made the mistake. I booked in another 10, and then looked at it and went, oh God, no, I'm at 55. I thought I was at 35. So I thought I booked in more than I thought. So, so when it got to that point, I was just like, sod it. If some come in, I'm like, no, I really want to do that one. I'd only take it if I really want to do it, and if I've got a good amount of time around it. So it's crept up to 65.
Good Lord, will you have to go VAT registered?
Possibly. I haven't gone into that yet, so we'll see.
Could if you're doing 60 odd of it, an average around like $2,000 odd.
Well, I went up to 2K last September, so some of these are probably are older prices that I've been able to book throughout the year. So people booked me this year that might have booked me back in 2023, and so that might be around the 1,300k mark or 1k mark or something like that. So it was having the confidence to put your prices up when I had that many, and I'm glad that I'm doing it because people are booking me at it. So maybe next year it might go a bit further. So we'll have to wait and see.
That's the weird thing about this job, isn't it? You basically just keep putting your prices up until the bookings stop. Because that's the only way we know we've gone too far.
Well, I was listening to the last episode. You had Alfie on, didn't you? And he said he's got his different brochures for different things. I thought that's actually a really good idea. But obviously we've got joint packages, so I'm trying to keep them the same thing. So we're offering the same prices to all the couples.
You're going to price yourself out of your mum and dad eventually, mate.
Oh, it could be coming, mate. It could be coming. I don't think they'll like it when it happens.
So how do you get most, like, because getting those numbers is amazing, especially right now, because I chat to a lot of videographers and photographers as well, and most people are finding the industry quite difficult, but you're clearly not at the moment. How are people finding you?
I'm going to say Instagram is the main thing. So the main reason my booking is Instagram, and we do a few open days at certain venues, and I've got about 14 or 15 at one particular venue this year that we do open days at. So I'm not complaining. It's probably one of the best venues I've been to. Hawkston Hall, if people do kind of know that venue. So
decent.
I've been doing those open days, which I'm very, very grateful to be a part of. So I've been able to get a few there, and Instagram's been the main thing. So quite a few people doing that, and obviously then having them with my parents as well. So the joint aspect of having both just kind of sweetens the deal for them. So, but
Yeah.
I would say social media, just in general, social media, Instagram being the main one for sure.
And let's go into that, right? Because there was an event which I think was an absolute masterclass in marketing from your point of view. And to give a bit of context, so when was it? So you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
When was it? When did that happen? What was the time frame of it?
Should we go into the whole thing?
Yeah.
So obviously we had I had that one clip that I took go viral.
So explain to us what it was.
Right. So I got an email from the bride, Emma, a couple of weeks before the wedding. This was at Hawkston Hall as well. And she said, I've got this idea. I've been seeing all these brides kind of doing these voiceovers for when the group, before they walk in. And I thought I'd get my 3-year-old daughter, Evie, to do it. I was like, right, okay, let's have a listen. So I listened to it. And you know when you just have that moment, you go, this could be quite something, because I had seen the brides doing it. I'm not seeing anywhere that a child has done it, because it is their daughter, which some people keep on in the comments are a bit stupid, to say the least. So when it came to the day, I was like, right, I need to nail this. It's mostly because he didn't know about it, so I had to go, right, stand there, don't move. But I had to play it off that nothing's actually happening. You're just going to stay there.
Yeah.
You're going to turn around and see it and watch them as they come in. So I got into position, and then it started, and the reaction started going, and he started to cry and everything. Everyone was in tears. It was such a beautiful moment to capture. So obviously she's saying, "Hi, Daddy, it's me," etc., etc. You know, Mommy looks really beautiful, but she doesn't look as beautiful as me. I'm walking down the aisle. I'm going to see you in a minute, and it's the "See you later, alligator" at the end, which kind of tops it all off. So if you haven't seen it, go have a look, and you can see what we're talking about. And then from there, I was like, so that wedding was on the 27th of December. So it was just after Christmas. I had New Year's, so we all enjoyed New Year's. It got to the 2nd of January, and I went, right, no, sod it, I'm just going to post it. So I'm just going to do that clip, post it, and see what happens. Because, the bride hadn't seen it. The bride hadn't walked in, so she hadn't even seen what had happened. She could only hear.
Oh, wow.
So I mainly posted it just so the bride could see it. And obviously collaborated with the couple and the venue, etc. I posted it. So I posted on Instagram, TikTok, obviously Instagram, then go straight to Facebook, and then I put it on YouTube as well. I woke up.
YouTube Shorts?
Yeah, YouTube Shorts. Yeah, I woke up in the morning after it had been posted, and it was on about 6 million views on TikTok. And the thing is with TikTok, TikTok and YouTube are very different to Instagram, so they haven't got like a cap for their views. So if people like it, they'll just push it, and they'll keep pushing, keep pushing. So that surpassed over 100 million views on Instagram, not Instagram, sorry, on TikTok, which was crazy. But I just couldn't believe it. It was just one of those things where it's like, oh my god, what the hell's happening? I thought it was going to do well, don't get me wrong, but not to the extent it has done.
Yeah.
Which I think this just kind of speaks volume for how important our job is. Going back to, obviously, I was saying, you can see all these moments that people don't, imagine if they didn't have a videographer. If they didn't have a video, they wouldn't be able to, watch that and relive it. And stuff. It's crazy. But after that kind of went crazy, I was going to do this anyway, because I did it last year, because I saw Greg was doing the wedding giveaway. So Greg was doing that. I did it last year, and it went really well. So I gave one wedding away, which actually the winner is in a couple of weeks. So I'm doing their wedding in a couple of weeks from recording this. My account ended up going from about 3,000 to 10,000 followers on Instagram. So I thought, I'll just do it as that was crazy in itself. I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
What was the time frame on that? How quickly did those numbers go up?
So it was on the 2nd of January I posted it, and it was on the 7th of January I did my giveaway. So that's
so in 5 days.
5 days. 5 days it just went. I was like, what is happening? So because I remember the story that I put up was it was a 10k follower giveaway. Like I said, I was going to do it anyway, but the fact it got to that, I think I did it around March last year, so I was going to do it around then. But I thought, I'll just do it now. With the traction that's coming through, it can only benefit what's going on. So like the inquiries started, flooding through, and this is where people, a lot of them, I'm imagining going, my God, yeah, film is going to be such a crazy thing, and we really need we really need to have our wedding on film. So a lot with this year, and obviously with the numbers I had to turn down so many. So I did write it down. I probably want to say it's probably around about over 70 inquiries came through from that video going viral.
70.
70 plus. It's going to be over that.
Yeah.
I was counting on Studio Ninja. I got to about 50. I was like, I'm not counting anymore. This is
Yeah.
But then because obviously I got so many messages through Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. I just had to kept saying no, but I was recommending people who I know and trust, so I was recommending people. So it was quite nice to hear that they've actually booked weddings that I recommended from that. So other people, it's really nice that other people other videographers have benefited from that as well, which is really, really nice. But waking up after that and seeing all the comments, not just from random people, but everyone in the wedding industry absolutely loved it. Friends, family. Everyone, it was just mental. It's still right now. It's still really hard to get my mind wrapped around what actually happened. But it was really nice to see the support from our community, from the wedding industry. The amount of people I know commenting on it, other videographers, photographers. Yeah, it was crazy. But I do really appreciate you and the boys from that wedding video podcast, the episode you did, and you said about it on there. So I really do appreciate you mentioning that on there. That was like a wow moment. I saw that. I was like, Jesus, okay, this is real.
Because I think there's so many things that are really cool about it. Like, there's so many things. I mean, first of all, right, and I think I mentioned this when I spoke to Danny and James when we were discussing it. There's a lot to be said, like, it's luck, right? Like, you have this thing fall in your lap, and, the bride out of the blue is saying she's going to do this. Yes, to a certain extent, but you still need to have put that groundwork in to capture it as beautifully as you did, because the coverage you had of it as a multicam coverage was outstanding.
Thank you.
It was beautifully done, and I think what's so cool about it, it's a viral moment that is uplifting, and no one can have a bad thing to say about it. I know people will probably try on the internet because that's what they do.
There's a few idiots, which I think the main comment was, well, everyone wanted to see Evie. This was everyone wanted to see her walk up the aisle. Obviously,
so that's the daughter that was actually speaking.
Yeah. So it was a pre-recorded message that played over. Obviously, everyone wanted to see her and then see Emma walk up the aisle, which I haven't even shared their wedding film on any social media of my own. I've kept it private for them, mainly because it's a three-year-old child. I want to keep her safe and everything. So because there's some idiots out there, but a lot of people going, why aren't you showing her? This is crazy that you're not showing her. So quite a few people got a comment back saying, no, I'm keeping her safe at the request of the couple. Probably helped it that I didn't show her as well.
It absolutely did. Yeah, that's the other thing. I thought that was intentional. Like,
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I wish I said it was, but no, it wasn't. It was intentional, not showing her for said reason of
which makes
privacy.
total sense. Makes even more sense what I'm thinking. I'm thinking from the marketing point of view. Right?
Yeah, but from the marketing
point of view,
mind. It was like, But I think any viral video, that if anyone's had a video go viral about anything, you are going to get what follows, which people are going to click onto your account. They're going to follow you. They're going to watch a lot of videos afterwards. So, I had a wedding film. It's probably about over 200k views on an actual wedding film. I was like, I got a message up from one venue going, "Why is this video like going?" Oh wait, okay, we've seen that, right? Okay, now we kind of get why that's good. Like all these lights are coming through, but it was just a really, really nice moment. But the couple as well had a lot of messages and stuff like that, so they got a load of nice comments. Obviously, there's always some idiot, but they were very overwhelmed with what was happening. So obviously the groom's like, my God, like the whole world has pretty much seen who I am. So Elliot was a little bit taken back by it, but I was getting emails from the press started to get involved, so the BBC was getting involved. So they wanted to speak to the couple. I said the couple don't want to do any interviews or anything like that, but I was like, well, if you want to speak to the person who filmed it, I don't mind coming out and speaking about it. So I went on the radio and spoke about it and had a nice conversation with Adam Green on there. But it was just quite a nice moment to share with everyone else. ITV got in touch so that on Valentine's Day they did like this. So like all these really nice moments from weddings on Loose Women. So it was on there on Valentine's Day. I was at a wedding at that point, and I was with my parents, and they were going, because there was a TV in the room. Just put Loose Women on, and it was there on TV.
No way.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I think the most weird one was the Kelly Clarkson show from the US getting in touch. And because they wanted to speak to the couple, and I had to go, no, sorry, they don't want to do anything. So I was like, they're going to fly him out to like America to go and speak and go to meet Kelly Clarkson and stuff like that.
No way.
So they want, all these broadcasters going, oh, can you put us in touch with them? So I did have to kind of put a nail in it somewhere and just go, just kind of keep it under control. But even now people talk about it, and it's still overwhelming.
So with a couple, because obviously I understand I don't want interviews and stuff. God, I don't think I would either.
No.
Were they overall happy that the video was out there though?
They're happy. They've had no complaints coming from their side. They're all happy. So when I delivered the film as well, they were over the moon with what I was able to produce for them. But yeah, they're fairly happy about it. So I've not heard from them since. So I'm sure it's going okay. But obviously because they've collaborated with them, so they're probably still getting all the the like notifications still coming through, comments, all sorts. So yeah, I'm still getting that. So I'm at this point, I'm like, I've had it now. I'm really happy with it.
You're over it.
But I'm like. You post new content. You go, is that another like or comment on that? Oh no, it's for that one. I'm like, there's so many comments on there. I can't go through them all. I can't go through them all.
it's crazy, isn't it? And because like this one thing, this one video can then be such a rocket for your business, because it was a perfect storm, wasn't it? Obviously, the content is so good because it's going to attract people. Like sometimes, for example, things that go viral for the wrong reasons, like it's something bad that happens at a wedding, or something funny, or the kind of stuff that it goes viral and people start following your account expecting to see more stuff like that, like people falling over at weddings or something like that, which isn't going to get you work. So you're going to get numbers, but it's not the kind of right kind of people. Whereas this video, because it's going to appeal to people whose wedding is coming up, like as an idea. And it's going to attract people like that. So you're going to actually get the right kind of people in. You're going to get people that are planning their wedding. Because I know a few people that have gone viral before, and they've barely got any, they've not got work from it. They've got followers, but then their engagement drops because it's the wrong kind of followers. So obviously now you've told me that you didn't the whole not showing the daughter was intentional, but not from a marketing point of view. Because I was there thinking like, because that's what I've noticed with social media and going viral. If you split it in two, to get the followers, the splitting in two is perfect, because people want to see what happens, so they follow you to be reminded when it comes up.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's just a one-off video and it's all there, they've got no, and they're not, they don't necessarily then follow you, do they?
Yeah.
So I was like, exactly. Oh, genius! He's made it so we don't see the daughter, and then they're going to wait to see the other one.
They're going to wait to see it. Yeah. No, I didn't do it like that. I was more thinking privacy mind for the couple rather than milking as much out of it as possible.
Which is the best way to be.
It's the honourable way to do it. Yeah, it's the honourable way to do it. But obviously, realistically, like if no feelings got hurt, I think definitely you'd show it or something like that. But I think when it comes down to having like viral moments, like you say, where people not getting getting the wrong followers, but it isn't just about like the views or the followers or anything like that. It's about sharing that moment with everyone else. So the content they were sharing with their family, with their friends, they get to enjoy the experience of rewatching that together, which I think, it's like when we go to the cinema with our friends, you enjoy that experience. So this is why we're such an important part of the community when it comes down to the wedding industry, because we get to help people relive their wedding days. So it's meant to be the best day of their life, the best experience of their life, and the fact that we get to help help them relive that. Moments like what I was able to capture and share with everyone, I think is just one of the main sole reasons why our job is so good and so important.
Yeah. If you are still delivering your wedding films on a USB or struggling to find a sleek, professional way to showcase your work, it's time to upgrade your delivery experience with VidFlow, the ultimate online gallery for wedding filmmakers. With VidFlow, your couples can watch their wedding films in stunning quality on any device. including their TV, making it easier than ever for them to relive their best day with family and friends. Plus, with custom branding, easy downloads and cloud backup, you get a premium, hassle-free delivery solution that makes you look as professional as your films deserve. I've been using VidFlow for the last year and my couples have been amazed by its slick interface, especially on their TV. It's like having their very own Netflix of their wedding films. You only pay for what you need, and each of my 4K galleries only cost me about £15, and they stay online for 10 years, so it's a complete no-brainer. Join thousands of filmmakers who have already made the switch, and try VidFlow for free by using the link in the description. Take your film delivery to the next level. Now let's get back to the episode. That reel is an important reel for our industry because, like you said, people see that and it makes them think, yeah, this is why video is a worthwhile addition to a wedding day. Because although I think the tides are maybe shifting slightly, we are still to a certain degree playing second fiddle to photography, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get many weddings where they're not booking photo, but majority probably don't have video at the minute.
Yeah, I'd say so. You know, my parents are still working with people. Even, you know, we offer our joint packages that they've just gone, no, we're just having photo. But it's mainly because sometimes people can't afford it. Hence why content creators are becoming a big thing as well. Or they're going, oh, we're just going to get a family friend to do it or something like that. But this is such a big, important part of your life that you're going to get to rewatch. I do say to my couples, invest more into what you're going to take away from your wedding than what's actually going to be kind of like discarded literally after the day. So like, you don't have to spend, you know, thousands of pounds on flowers. Sorry, florists, but they don't at times. But getting to rewatch these moments, it's so key and so crucial, which I'm really happy and proud that video has kind of emphasized that reason.
Yeah,
it's a real privilege to have been able to share that with everybody. So yeah.
It's quality. And I tell you what, that moment can only be captured like it was with video. The photos of it would have been shit. weren't your mum and dad, was it?
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No, they weren't. They weren't there with me that time. Although they were going, why didn't they have us for that wedding? I was like, I don't know. It's nothing to do with me. But the thing is, well, again, like I did his sister's wedding 2 years before. I saw them at a wedding on the 31st of August last year because I know what wedding it was, and they didn't have a videographer by that point. So they got married in 4 or 5 months before their own wedding. They didn't have a videographer. So by September they had booked me, and I'm so glad they did because they wouldn't have had that to watch. But the benefits of that video going viral from a business side as well has been crazy. So obviously, like I say, the follower count has gone to the extreme on TikTok, on Instagram, even YouTube. And that's from that one video. That's from that one TikTok. That's how all these followers and subscribers have come in.
Yeah, because your subscriber count on YouTube, you got ended up getting the silver trophy thing, like the what do you call that? I don't know what you call it.
The play button, silver play button.
Yeah, the silver play button.
Yeah, so it's 100,000
subscribers.
100,000 subscribers. Yeah,
that's insane, and that's just from that one YouTube short.
Majority, yeah.
I've never considered that being a way to get your subscriber count up because obviously I don't do as much now, but I mean the podcast goes on YouTube, but I think my subscribers are just over 1,000 or something like that. But then like one YouTube short can like give you a silver play button.
Absolutely,
that's mad.
I was watching it go up. I was like, this could happen. It was going up by thousands by the day. Obviously,
wow.
TikTok and Instagram went up a lot quicker, but that was probably only until end of April-ish that hit 100,000. That's still going. I want to say it's around about 113k at the minute. So now I'm like, I need to get some YouTube content out there, man. I need to start doing things behind the scenes, everything. This is how I've just done one. I went to the start shoot in Paris. I was like, right, I'm gonna vlog that. Go all behind the scenes with that. I'm gonna. My God, what else did I do? I've done how I film ceremonies and stuff like that. I need to start doing these things. I need to start utilizing these subscribers.
Yeah, because have you been able to monetize it in terms of? Have you got any Because I know from TikTok you can get paid by like a creator account and stuff.
Yeah,
I've
looked into that, but the annoying thing was, I think it depends on the length of the video. That's what I want to say.
It has to be over a certain amount of time.
I want to say it's got to be about a minute, and my video is 36 seconds long. So now I'm thinking, if I'd have just showed Evie walking down the aisle and the bride, it might have actually gone past a minute, and I might have been able to get a bit of money from it. But yeah, no.
Forget the child safety. I want the money.
Let's have the money. I'll share it with you. It's fine. But yeah, no, it was. I haven't exactly figured out exactly how much or what to do with the monetization yet. That's something that's, again, I'm not very techie. I'm not all too used to it, but just hitting that goal of 100k, that's one thing I didn't think I'd ever be able to achieve. That's something that's crazy. You know, I've got my podcast that I do with my mum. Me and my mum have got our little podcast, which is more towards kind of couples getting married. So we have guests on to speak about, you know, that part of the industry, etc., and give a few little tips and tricks and stuff, as opposed to kind of like the business side of things, which obviously Coda is all about for our side of videography. But yeah, it's when I'm uploading those kind of videos that they're not getting much kind of traction through. It's just there just in case if people want to watch us rather than listen to us. I enjoy doing them. I enjoy doing them. Obviously, when you said you were getting in contact about this, I was like, yeah, let's do it. This is I'm a hell of a chatterbox, but that's because of my mum. I get it from my mum. I will talk even when it comes down to weddings. Like, I'm a big personality on the day. Like, and even like a lot of us are trying to be quite discreet. I'm like, when I'm trying to shoot, I am very discreet in how I'm kind of like picking people off, like during the drinks reception. But I'm always there, kind of just get involved with everyone. They feel comfortable with me. They know what I'm doing, and we just get on with it. Just get on with it and enjoy it.
I think that's the kid. That's definitely my approach. Like I can't keep. I thought when I moved to video, I'm like, right, I can't be like a photographer anymore. I need to be a lot more quiet, just on the sides. As soon as I get to the window, I can't out myself. Like, I can't keep my mouth shut.
Yeah,
but I think that helps. That approach helps, doesn't it? Because people get used to you. From the beginning of the wedding, conversations with the camera down get people comfortable with you. So then when it comes to those key moments where the camera comes up, they're happy in your presence and you get more natural footage. So I've lent into that more than anything these days.
Yeah, no, same with me. I mean, even to be fair, while I'm working with my parents, they both got very big personalities. So my personality is a mixture of both of them. So when I'm doing weddings without them, sometimes I'm quite a bit more of a bigger personality than the photographer at times. But I think that whole videographer is got to be quiet, head down, just kind of very discreet. I think that's becoming such a stereotype now. That's how we've got to be. We don't have to be like that. We can be as loud as the photographer and get involved with everybody. Big up the videographers. Don't always be shy.
Definitely. And I think whatever your personality is, I think with video, you can, like with photo, for example, I think you have to kind of almost be a reasonable personality because you need to control the situation. With video, you can get away with not. But it doesn't mean you have. Do you know what I mean? Like, but you can do whatever you want, can't you? You can whatever suits your personality, because you'll then attract people that want that kind of person, whatever that is. So whoever you just be true to yourself, and then you'll get people that you really vibe with, and then the films will be better because of it. Hi guys, just a quick break from the episode to tell you about some filmmaking products I've developed. The first are Rudogs. These are custom-made wind noise reducers designed for the Sony TX650 and 660 microphones. Rudogs not only help reduce wind noise and heavy breathing sounds, they also make the TXs look a little bit more like microphones and less like vapes. Here's a very unscientific demonstration of their effectiveness. For this test, I held two TXs at my office fan at the same time, one with a Rudog on and one without. This is the recording without a Rudog. And this is the one with the Rudog. Without and with. The other product is the Yeti strap. This is a storage solution that can fit up to 6 Sony TXs, and it has a Velcro backing so it can be attached to the inside of most camera bags. It helps keep all your TXs together and stops them getting scratched. All these products are available from my shop, rue-films.com/shop, or follow the link in the description of the podcast. Now back to the episode. I just wanted to see if the tide will change and if video will become a bit more of a like I said, I know video is more important, like from 100%. Down the line kind of point of view, and I wonder if people will realise that from a couple's point of view, if they start prioritising video. I think they will, and it will be interesting to see how that dynamic changes.
I think with this generation coming through, I definitely think that you're going to start seeing a lot more. Video is going to be one of the first things on the sheet to be booked. I think for sure that's definitely how it's going to go, for sure.
Yeah. And how old are you, Owen?
I'm 25.
24. Yeah, so you're a right young buck, aren't you? So do you count as Gen Z then?
Well, I'm 99. 99 I was born, so maybe is it probably Gen Z. I'm not. I don't even know what generation I'm part of.
It fascinates me now seeing the couples that like the difference. There's such a big difference from I'd say from 5 years ago to now. There's a big difference in the couples and how they want to be filmed or photographed on their wedding day. They're so much more aware of how they like to be photographed and filmed. Whereas before, when I started, like they had no clue, and it was just a case of just get shots of me without me knowing, please. Like make me look good without me realizing. And my theory is that whereas there's usually a transition, a gradual transition, we had that almost cut-off point of COVID where everything stopped for a while.
Yeah.
And then there was almost like a 2-year gap where suddenly we came back and then the whole next wave of brides and that would come out. So it almost feels like a sudden change. I don't know if rather than us gradually being drip fed new people and new styles, it's felt like overnight it's all changed. And so suddenly all the photographers I work with are editorial. There's barely any documentary.
Yeah, that's crazy how I'm working with quite a few. Like my parents are documentary, and you know they're worrying that now they're seeing all this editorial style. We actually had one wedding that we had booked together, and the couple said to them, like, we've seen this other style of photography that we like. We don't want all this, like, you know, because I think they had their pre-shoot or something already, and they wanted to do, they didn't want kind of like all this posing element to it. Like I was like, to photography, as you know, there's always an element of posing, no matter what you're doing. Yeah. There's going to be a pose and a bit of direction just to help you move along. So they cancelled it, and I started working with photography. I was like, this is like probably more posy because it's editorial, so it is that a Vogue look, I would say.
But they're just walking rather than stood still. That's the only difference, right?
Yeah, that's what it is now. A lot of walking, you know, the walking, the look back, like the bride's looking back at the camera, the very direct flash as well. Don't get me wrong, like it's nice. It is really nice, and as videographers, maybe we're starting to move with the times of. We need to be capturing a little bit like use the photographer's flash to your advantage. I've seen Matt from PS Visuals do it quite a bit where you can see all this flash going in there. It does look really cool. It looks really, really nice. But maybe we need to start leaning into that a little bit more. But yeah, they were quite worried, so they actually cancelled that photographer cancelled them and went with another photographer. But I was still working with them. So
awkward.
I don't think they knew. I'm not sure if the other photographer knew that they had my parents booked and cancelled them. But no grudges. If this is the thing, if we're not the right fit for you, then that's fine. That's
exactly
that's not a problem.
Yeah, it's a two-way thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
everyone's got to be the right fit for each other, and it's their important day. So you want them to be 100% confident. Like if I had a couple that were doubting that I was the right fit for them, then I'd absolutely be like, if you've got any doubts, cancel the booking, like because you need to be 100% sure this is important for you.
If we're not the right fit for you, go and find someone that is. There's so many styles of videography as there is photography now. I'd say like it's come on so far. The videographers that have come through now are absolutely smashing it, and it's such a joyous thing to be a part of. All these videographers coming through.
It's thriving, isn't it? But it's interesting on about this whole kind of editorial scene, which to me feels like it came out of nowhere. But I do feel like maybe there was a gradual process going on behind the scenes at COVID, but we weren't out there shooting weddings. Yeah. But then you look at the videographers that are leaning into that. And they're the ones that are doing really well. Like Matt Pike from PS Visuals, he's really lent into the editorial style. He's absolutely smashing it. Was he like 160 weddings last year? And he said, I'm scaling it back this year. I'm only doing 90. My God.
I think I watched that not so long ago again because I just wanted to listen to how he did. I think he said, was it 120 weddings he did last year?
That's right. 120,
120, and he's scaling it back to like 80. I'm like, dude, that's still like colossal amount.
I think he's ended up doing 90. I think that is the number he ended up on. But
mental.
That's ridiculous.
He comes across as such a nice guy in that podcast. So I can't wait to meet him at Coda this year. So
he's top bloke, but like he's worth looking at to see where he's clearly caught at the right time, the right style at the right time. And then also I'd say Alfie from Click Visuals he's similar as well, but he's more of a kind of like fun and party aspect. Yeah,
he's got that kind of festival vibe about it where he's got all that free flowing movement, like I was saying before. He's definitely got all that in his locker.
But both those styles, it's kind of shot where the videographer is obviously there, right? It's like gone are these moments where we're trying to hide and kind of quietly shoot through
Yeah.
things and make it look so the video with their style of video. There's a lot of eye contact with the camera, as in like
There
the eyes
is,
looking
yeah.
straight down the lens, that kind of thing. And it's almost this kind of paparazzi feel to it. And I think that's what's selling, basically.
Yeah,
That is
it
what
is.
it's selling.
It absolutely is. But then again, you got to look at the clientele that you're trying to aim at. So if you're trying to aim at the clientele to have that kind of film, if you like doing it, then go for it. Do style shoots, do whatever. Try and get that content to find those couples. But some people just want to have their wedding filmed. It doesn't have to be all this kind of pap, all this stuff. They just want to be there. You to be there, capture everything, give them a good experience from yourself. Be there, be part of the day, and allow them to rewatch their wedding film. That's what the main thing is. As long if you can do that, you're gonna go a long way.
Exactly, because you got to shoot the style that you enjoy shooting and editing, because otherwise it's just gonna you might as well be working in an office. Otherwise, if you're doing a creative job, you need to make sure it's something that you are actually enjoying and you're following your passion.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. I couldn't agree more, mate. Absolutely.
And going forward, because obviously your social media is on fire now after that incredible post. So what is your strategy for social media? I know you said that you're doing a preview from every wedding. Are you posting those previews on your social media, or are they privately going to the couple?
I am going, obviously, because that thing is, it's brand new. So I'm doing it. Again, it's not a promise that I've done it every single time, or I will do it every single time, rather. But it's quite a nice thing that it's just something to share on social media, and I'm getting quite a few messages going back, going, "Wow, that was quick." I'm like, "Well, I'm sat bored during the drinks, the wedding breakfast." Yeah. I'm like, "What else am I going to do? I may as well just do something and give them a little bit more joy on the wedding day to have going." So all the guests are going, "Oh my god, look at that!" Like they get to see it as well, but it just adds to the experience. But in terms of social media, getting to put it on there. They then get to share it. But if I really like it, or it might be a venue I've never been to before, and you might want to have a bit of content on there nice and early about from that venue. So you post it. So you say yesterday I posted that, and people are sharing it already. So it's nice. It's just nice to have. But I wouldn't say there's much of a strategy. Again, like you say, with yourself, you posted 39 times or something like that.
Yeah.
My social media has been pretty poor in terms of consistently posting. Which I think now I'm with all these stories, I'm putting a lot through there. So I was looking through like my reach. I got quite a lot of activity, like more than 50% of my activity and my reach was through stories, through all my followers, etc. So a lot, getting a lot of interaction through that is quite cool. So you get quite a few likes and stuff, and just be present. Be present. So even if your couples might get a bit worried that it's been quite a while since they've seen you filming their wedding, but as long as you're present on there and they can see, oh, he's quite busy, he's doing this, he's doing that, they can understand. So they're allowing that time. So I've had a few people message me, but just casually, so they're not even asking when their film's ready. I'm saying it is coming soon. Don't worry. So, oh yeah, no rush, no rush, absolutely no rush. So, but it all starts from that morning when you get there. That's when the experience starts. So if you can give them a great day and then afterwards, then you're going to be fine. And I don't think you're going to have a lot of pressure. I don't think you have a lot of pressure from there.
So what kind of things do you post on your stories then? Is it just general kind of work stuff, or do you mix it up?
Yeah, mainly. It's more the general stuff, or obviously the other day where I posted about the letterboxes and stuff like that, but just engage with your couples in terms of, is there anything that they need to book? Is there anything they haven't booked yet? Any worries they've got? Just the little questions, or give it a little this or that. Is this nice? Would you prefer this? Would you prefer that? Of whatever it could be, a different shot or something like that. It's just fun. It's enjoyable. I love speaking to all my clients even before the wedding. I like to keep in touch with them, because what was quite nice, that I'm having my meetings with my current couples who I haven't spoken to since they booked me or something like that. But they haven't spoken to me since the video went viral. So they're going, like, we're one of the originals that booked you before that it even happened. So we're just like, oh my God, our videographer's going viral. What the hell's going on? But that's given them a bit more, that security feeling. They feel more comfortable with that. They've had me, having me film their wedding, and they've seen something like that, which is quite a privilege.
It's also kind of, I don't know, it's such a great thing from a business point of view because it's brand awareness as well, isn't it? So even the couples that, even if you've shot their wedding and you delivered it, they see you go viral, you're in their mind again, and then it's a conversation piece for them to talk about. They go, oh, the guy that filmed my wedding, he's gone hugely viral. Have you seen?
Yeah.
And it's just that word of mouth spread of marketing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's never ending. So as long as that's the thing, even I'm very, very lucky with what I've been able to have. I'm very privileged with it. But even if you haven't got something like that, just the experience you can give them will speak more volumes than what you're actually delivering as well. At times it will. So give them a good experience, and they're only going to promote you more. Word of mouth is the most powerful way of recommendation, I think, at times.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. And I think I've spoken this with various people on the podcast before, and it's almost, if you give them a better experience, a great experience on the day, is going to elevate their film in their minds. Whereas maybe if filmmakers were judging the film, maybe, okay, a 7 out of 10 film from a filmmaker point of view will be like a 9 out of 10 in their heads because of the experience you've given them has kind of elevated that as well. Whereas I think they'd rather have the experience and a decent film than like an incredible film and not enjoy the experience.
I think this is where people need to make sure you don't get caught up in going, I'm filming this because I want to impress my peers. Don't forget about that. Your client is the main thing. So focus on the couple and focus on their needs. Yes, it might not be the most beautiful shot or whatever of where it is, but as long as you can deliver that moment, they're gonna love you more for it.
Please your clients first.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about the industry.
Well, they're the ones who are paying your bills, so
exactly.
Please them first.
Exactly. Right then, mate. So I've kept you a while. Let's round it up. Let's land the plane, as they say.
Let's land it.
And I'm gonna drop the question that I ask everybody.
Okay.
And that's, what were the biggest light bulb moments in your career so far when something suddenly made sense and helped you progress or find the path you wanted to take?
I think in terms of light bulb moments, I feel like my whole career has been one. In terms of when I first started, I'm always learning, and these light bulbs are going off where I'm getting to watch, listen to this podcast as well. All these little podcasts you get to listen to, and you can learn all these things. You go, oh my god, I never thought about that. You're noticing all these things and just watching all these other beautiful films that people are creating. You're just going to get more inspired, and the light bulb is going to keep going off there. So I think that's my light bulb thing. Like, it's just a constant light at the minute. It's rather than a light bulb. It's just one big bright constant light that everyone's content's amazing. It's just great to be able to watch. I just love it.
I love that you feel like that, man, because that's how I am. I'm a wedding nerd. That's why Coda exists, because I'm a nerd for wedding filmmaking.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people struggle with it. I know a lot of people struggle with looking at other people's work because they get like imposter syndrome, and they kind of, there's this feeling of jealousy, I guess. But I never look at it that way, because first of all, we've always got to remember we're only looking at people's best stuff, right? We're always going to compare our worst stuff with their best stuff, because we know all the cock ups and stuff we've made. We don't get to see theirs. But also, it's look at people's work and just appreciate it, like what they've managed to pull off. We know our job is so hard, right? Like, it's a once in a lifetime massive moment, and we have to pull off an incredible feat when you think about it. So just to see how people do that in their different styles is really inspiring for me. And if I see an incredible film, it fires me up, and I get excited, and I want to get out there and shoot.
It makes you want to do better. It makes you want to do better. This is exactly what I was kind of saying before. Imposter syndrome is real. It is a thing. I get it all the time. Don't think that all these people that you're getting imposter syndrome off because you're watching their films, they're going to get it as well. Don't just feel like it's on you. That these people who you're feeling that because of their films, they're going to get that off other people. So don't worry about that. Again, it goes back to think you're not posting all this stuff to impress your peers. You're posting it because of the client. You're delivering your service. You're delivering your best. Don't worry about that. You're going to keep improving. So I wouldn't worry about, oh my god, that person's work is amazing, I'm never going to be like that. Well, maybe you weren't, you can work like that. That's how you work on things. you're not going to get ripped abs in a day. It's
Yeah,
not how it works. I wish, but it's a process of learning, studying, and working hard, and that's what's going to get you to the point to get you to your best. That's what's going to get you there.
Totally, man. And I think it's just being able to be inspired and motivated is a superpower, rather than to look at work and feel kind of worried and sick by it. And it's just something to teach yourself. But I think I realized that kind of imposter syndrome for me, like that I've managed to turn it off, I think, to a certain degree.
It's good.
And the way I've done it was the realization that imposter syndrome is caused by your fear that you are not keeping up with your peers, with the other people in the industry. It's got nothing to do with your couples, because your couples probably booked you on the work that you did 2 years ago. Because the things that you show, like my website is probably 2 years old. So I'm so much better than I was 2 years ago. And like, I'm not just sounds like I've got big-headed there, but we are there, right? Two years is a long time ago.
I'm there with you. I'm exactly there with you.
So like they're booking us based on that. So if you do a bang average job of your current standard, you're going to blow their minds. So you can go into every wedding confident you're going to do the perfect job for your couple, and that's all that matters, man. It's been awesome chatting to you tonight, mate. Thank you so much for your insight, and
thank you for having me.
It's been so awesome to watch. I mean, I was so excited, like I was so giddy watching. Keep going back to that video when you posted it, when it was seeing those insane numbers go up.
Yeah.
But then seeing how your business from the has thrived from it as well, and it's proof that putting yourself out there and putting content on social media is so worthwhile. It takes that one clip that can really put a rocket up your business, and that sounds like I'm dismissing, and I totally understand that it's not just. No,
I'm right there with you.
You had to capture it beautifully as well, which you did, which is on your experience, and everything the work and hard work you put into it. But you put that hard work in, those hard yards, then to be there at the right place at the right time to then benefit beautifully from that clip. So. Yeah, it's been fascinating to see, mate.
Mate, it's absolutely
congratulations on everything it's bringing you. And
thank you very much.
Good luck for the rest of this season ahead. I hope that you'll still be in a reasonable state to have a good old chat when we catch up at Coda in October. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. To find out more about what we have to offer in terms of our conference and also our educational resources, visit coda-conference.com.